Welcome, everyone, to the Awesome Dynamic webinar. This week, hosted by me, Tim. Paul is out sick today, so I decided to fill in for him. And here to help me out today, we have two other Amazon experts. We have Sean, and
Hello.
we have Blake.
Hola.
All right, so we have a lot of fun content to get into today. We're again going to do this the same way we've been doing it the last couple of weeks, where we do a roundtable discussion. We're going to pull a bunch of forum and Reddit posts that are of concerns for different people, and we're going to answer them live on the show here. But as always, if you ever want to ask your own questions, please do so right on the side of the video here, where you can ask your questions. We're going to keep an eye on that, and we'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions as you bring them in. So without further ado, let's jump into the first topic here. So let's take a look here. A forum user has asked the question here. Seller account compromised. They had $1,000+ sent to some kind of unknown bank account. Today, we are deeply disheartened to learn that our most recent Amazon payment of $141,202 was sent to a fraudulent account that does not belong to our company. Found that someone had hacked into the profile. There was no email notification warning of the major account change, which seems unusual to me because I know from experience that usually you do receive emails from Amazon whenever there is any bank account change or any kind of credit card change to your account. Yeah, there could have been several issues going on, but basically they said, look, this is a major security breach on their account, and is something that I think all sellers need to be cautious of. Blake is the one that brought this to our attention. So Blake, I want to hand this over to you to kind of talk about this and talk about ways to prevent this from happening for our other sellers.
Sure. I think this just highlights the importance of keeping tabs on your payments to the bank account associated with your Amazon account every 2 weeks. Keep a heavy eye, but another good point is that Amazon has also implemented a two-step verification process for sellers that choose to enroll in it. So make sure you've enrolled in that so that issues like this, if happen, the two-step process means that people supposedly still have a secure account in one way or another through Amazon. Right. A second thing is a forum poster put this, and they mentioned that ACH payments are reversible to a certain extent with several days since the transfer was made. Again, highlighting the importance of, if you're keeping tabs on your payments every 2 weeks, which is just twice a month, put it in a calendar, make some, have an email, send a boomerang to you through Gmail, just figure a way to keep on top of your payments, but also secure passwords. Look into a very strong, ridiculously strong password, whether that's through apps or extensions similar to LastPass, or you just create something very tough and implement that. And maybe also change your password frequently. I don't know if that's biannually, monthly, whatever you're comfortable with, but definitely strong password, change it often, keep tabs on your payments to your bank account.
Yeah, absolutely. And password security can't be emphasized enough. Amazon does also have an option now where you can do two-factor authentication, essentially, where when Amazon recognizes, I don't know if it's when it recognizes from a new location only or if it's all the time, but you essentially are sent to your email a verification code so that when you try to log in, it will prompt you to enter in this verification code at that time. That's a great way to add another layer of security to being able to log into your account. But like Blake said, password management can be difficult. I have done IT for over a decade, and it's been one of these things where password security is always on the opposite side of convenience, and it sucks. And that's why we usually, at least internally here at Awesome Dynamic, we use password managers with that not only generate secure passwords but allow us to secure them in a vault where other people can't get access to them, but we can get into them as we need for all the accounts that we use. So, Sean, I don't know if you wanted to add anything. I know you have some computer science background as well, so you may have some insights.
Well, there was one issue that was brought up that I wanted to point out is that they talked about not getting an email notification. So one of the things you want to make sure to do is that your email notifications are set up to tell you, because it may or may not do that. So that is one thing. And then also, as you said, they have gotten better and better about being able to crack passwords. And so, changing them up, alphanumerics, as Blake and both Tim pointed out, just something ridiculous, lowercase, uppercase, and no full English words. That's the biggest thing that people do, is they use full English words, and those are very easy for people to guess.
Yeah,
So.
there's the IT background. I've been exposed to things like rainbow tables and just all sorts of methods, brute force cracking, trying to guess someone's password, and it's there's no easy solution to it. And I know it seems like we've turned a podcast, a webinar all about Amazon into security in this front end here, but it is such an important thing that I think it was worthwhile kind of covering at the beginning here. So, all right. So, great. Let's move on to our next topic here. So let me pull that up here. The next topic is seller privileges removed due to inauthentic complaints. This person woke up this morning to find a notice by seller support that the selling privileges have been revoked due to inauthentic complaints. Basically, in February 2007, they had their product removed because it is inauthentic. They emailed seller support, and basically they were able to get it cleared up quickly, and everything was all back to normal. March 2017, same product was removed again due to complaints, and emailed seller support. They had to provide invoices, and it took a few days, but it looks like they reapproved everything. Then we come to most recently, probably later in March 2017, the account is suspended, not able to sell anything because they had relisted the product, even though they were told by Amazon that they were able to start selling it again. As you can see, the customer service representative told him to do that. He did it, and now he's in trouble. So, we've been talking a lot about the different types of problems that sellers can get suspended for, and it's one of those things that we can write appeal letters. We can also try to contact CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, to see about getting decisions reversed and all of that. But I think that the biggest takeaway, at least I found, at least from this person's story, is that when you're dealing with first level support with Amazon seller support, sometimes don't necessarily take their answer as permission for you to do something. We've seen it several times where sometimes the first tier seller support person recommends doing something that is clearly against Amazon's policy. They go ahead and do what they were told to do, and Amazon ends up suspending, or even worse, just completely removing someone's selling privileges because they didn't adhere to Amazon's seller policies. So what I found that if you contact Amazon seller support several times and talk to several different Amazon representatives, that you oftentimes will get several different answers to the same question. So I don't know about you guys, if you've had that same experience sometimes dealing with Amazon seller supports.
Yes, actually had Amazon help us out. We were having issues changing the title on a listing. Contacted Amazon seller support. I actually got in touch with the back end. They adjusted it, and I don't even know where they came up with the wording, put in this big, huge, long password. Amazon clipped us, and we lost our selling privileges for 10 days as it got cleared up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. It's one of those things that you just can't. A lot of these first level line support personnel just are not as well versed as other seller support personnel. So Always be careful, especially when recommended. We've had everything from a seller representative telling someone to basically create a new listing from scratch for the same product, which is not allowed per policy. We've had a situation where someone was told to open up another seller account, and for anyone that has experience in Seller Central, that is a huge no-no in the Amazon world. You never want to have more than one seller account unless you get pre-approval from Amazon. And no, a customer service representative recommending that you open up another account does not constitute approval to be able to open up that second account. And just be very mindful of policies before you start doing anything, because seller supports has been known to give bad information. And if you don't know if their recommendations is against policy or not, that's where we can come in and we can help you. We have a lot of experience with this, and that's something that you can come to us with. All right, let's move on to the next one. So the next question is, where can I find my FNSKU labels before even creating a shipment to FBA? So this person said they create a listing with 3 variations, and they need the FNSKU barcodes to print on the product boxes themselves. That's actually a really good tip for anyone that doesn't want to apply labels, and you're starting with the ground at the ground and creating product and packaging for Amazon. Sometimes printing those FNSKU labels right onto your product boxes can be a way to streamline the process. So they want to know, is there a way that they can basically print off? They said that there are 3 variations under hazmat review. May take up to 4 days to clear, and we have a lot of experience dealing with hazmat reviews. But they said they can't get the FNSKU labels right now. So this kind of brings up 2 things, and I think Sean, you've been dealing with this kind of situation a lot recently as well. So I don't know if you want to take this or if you want me to start.
Well, as far as the hazmat review go, we have noticed recently that hazmat is taking longer than usual. So, you know, especially for somebody like this, it'd be really nice to print these out ahead of time. But we have a few unfortunate clients who've been stuck in hazmat since the beginning of February. So, you know, it is now the end of March. So that's over 2 months that the products have been just held up. So, I mean, looking forward, it's something to kind of keep in mind that more often than not, you know, it does flow through hazmat, you know, in 4 to 5 business days, but sometimes it will and does take longer.
Yeah.
As far as printing, I don't, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. So I was going to follow up on the next part if you want me to, about actually obtaining the labels. So in addition to, and let me flip this back over to me. So in addition to, so there seems to be two points during the FBA process in which your product may be flagged for hazmat and prevent you from sending in. The first time is going to be when you first try to convert a SKU over to FBA. Amazon may say, hey, you know, this has to go under hazmat review, and we can't do it. Once you clear that and you are able to get the product converted to FBA, you then start creating your shipment in Amazon. And at that point, there actually has been another point where it says, this product can't be added to the shipment because it's still under hazmat review. Frustrating, very, very frustrating. And it's one of those things where a product could be caught at one point and not the other point. And also there could be a situation where it's caught up at both points. So all because you clear one of them, for some reason, it doesn't seem to affect the other one. And Amazon basically says that they just do regular hazmat reviews on all the product, and at any point in time, your product may be flagged as hazardous or potentially hazardous, and Amazon needs to do another check even though it was successfully enrolled in FBA. So the other part of the question is obtaining those FNSKU labels. Once your product is successfully transferred over or converted over to FBA, you have the option from either the main inventory screen or the FBA inventory screen to actually print item labels directly from there. During the shipment creation process, there is a step where you can have the labels created for your products as you're going through that process. But you can absolutely, we oftentimes recommend creating a full sheet of labels. So I don't want to go into too many details during this, just because we've covered FBA labeling a number of times, as well as covered it in thorough detail in a previous webinar about the different ways you can print off labels. But essentially, as long as you're enrolled in FBA, you can actually print that item's labels right from the inventory screens. So I think that pretty much covers the labeling. Anyone else want to add anything? All right, getting a bunch of head nods. All right.
I did want to, sorry, my mic was on mute.
That's all right, Blake, go ahead.
I do know some clients and other people who also, depending on their setup, pre-print 30 packs of certain FNSKU labels if they don't already append it to their item or it's built into the product packaging. But that's also nice to have a binder full of some of your high selling, or for your employees to grab and just, if you need them on the fly, I know, and it works out well for them. So just another thing to think about for hot selling items.
And for sellers who do a lot of volume, investing in a label printer, a thermal label printer that can print one at a time, so you can just print on demand exactly what you need, is usually a good route to go. So
agreed.
Okay, well, let's take a little bit of a break here, and let's talk about Awesome Dynamic a little bit. So, oops, helps if I switch to the right screen here. So, yeah, Awesome Dynamic. So we're Awesome Dynamic. We have 3 main services that we offer. Of course, we do Amazon Seller Consulting, where we can help you sell to millions of people that are currently shopping on Amazon. We also help with web development and as well as SEO services. And we oftentimes, our experience in web development and SEO help us a lot with clients who want to start implementing strategies outside of Amazon, such as keyword research. Let's say a customer needs a branded website for their brand registry and just to have a brand presence online. We have a lot of different tools that can help just about any customer out there. So no matter what you're really looking for, we can help you. And all you have to do is just give us a call at 800-238-1811 or click on the free quote button here at the top. Our director of sales, Terry, is going to be the one that will reach out back to you and find out from you what your situation is and what we can do for you. But yeah, we really encourage you to take a look at it. We also have a button right at the top here that shows you the different webinars that we've done in the past, as well as register for new ones. Great content here, especially if you go back and look at some of our past webinars where we answer a lot of great questions. Awesome content there. And also our blog. If you go here, we can find a lot of blogs that are created from that different content and just a lot of great information here as well. And on the left side, you can see over here where you can sign up for the Awesome List to find out more information about any new information that's come from Amazon through us, or find out when our webinars are. So definitely join the Awesome List if you can. And of course, if you really like what you hear, we'd like to encourage you to go to the bottom of awesomedynamic.com, click on the Review Us button, and give us a thumbs up. Then you can give us a rating, 5-star rating on either Facebook or Google. We really appreciate it, and I think it would it'll help know that we're providing the right service. Customer service is a very important thing to us, so if you do that for us, we would certainly appreciate it. 800-238-1811, awesomedynamic.com. All right, so let me switch back to me for a moment here. All right, so covered Awesome Dynamic. Let's move on to some other subjects here. The next one that we have here is having to do with it's an FBA question here, but it's a little bit more specific. This person from the subreddit asks, when you integrate Shopify with FBA, your Shopify store is leveraging Amazon's multi-channel fulfillment. Rates differ from normal FBA, and here's the reference with the link. And we can definitely provide that link in the blog post as well as the notes for today's webinar. So basically, this person is really, asking, what is a different rate structure to be able to have, instead of stocking your own inventory, this is a way for you to have Amazon actually ship and fulfill the order to every single customer. Now, it's not the same structure and fee structure as your normal FBA fees, but it is something that can be pretty cost effective. The big downside to it is that you have to know that Amazon will ship every single shipment in its own in Amazon branded packaging. They used to do the option where you can pay a little extra to be able to do it in unbranded, just plain brown packaging, but Amazon has since taken that option away. But I wanted to bring up here really quick. Here's the fee structure just to give you an idea of the different rates that you would be paying. So you can see, in general, if you have like a small item that weighs, let's say 2 pounds, you'd be looking at standard shipping would be $4.75 plus 75 cents for pick and pack, and then 2 times 45 cents, which is 90 cents. So what does that come out to? That's 565 plus 75 cents more would be probably about 635, right around there. Am I doing my math right? $6.40. All right. Yeah, so you can see $6.40 is higher than what you would pay for your normal FBA fees, but you're not paying that 15% commission, the Amazon referral fee that you would on most categories. So depending on the cost of your item, it may be cost effective to do it. Or there are a lot of other third-party logistics companies that can do fulfillment for you if you don't have the ability to be able to do that in-house. Anyone want to have any input into this? Nope, doesn't look like it. Blake?
Nope, not much on this one. One interesting point was someone was mentioning other kind of competitive services such as shipalot.com have competitive prices, and I didn't know there were kind of competitive prices with Amazon fulfillments, multi-channel fulfillment prices. That's about it. Quite interesting.
Yeah, in general, the multi-channel fulfillment cost is higher than I think what a lot of those third-party companies do, just because, you know, Amazon really, really wants you to sell your product on Amazon and not necessarily just be a fulfillment center. So I think that's kind of Amazon trying to make back. In fact, I saw an interesting chart, and I wish I would have added it today, of what the gap between Amazon's cost for all the shipment and how much revenue Amazon makes from charging for shipping. And it's a loss leader. It's always been a loss leader for Amazon. Amazon loses money on every shipment that it ships out in the FBA program. They make up for it in their referral fees and first-party sales and advertising, marketing. They also have their whole Amazon Web Services division that makes a lot of money for them. But yeah, it's something where this multi-channel fulfillment doesn't generate any ad revenue. It doesn't generate any referral sales. It's literally just using their warehouse and personnel. So that's why you see such a higher price for it. So, all right. Should we move on to the last question? I'll take that as yes.
Do it.
All right. So this last question, and this is going to be for you, Sean.
Yep.
When having a flavor variation, we got flavor with a U, so we know it's probably not a U.S. seller. Is it best to add it or make a new listing? I sell protein powder. I have a chocolate listing up that has chocolate in the name. Would it be best to remove chocolate from the name and add an option to get vanilla, or should I make a completely new listing? All right, so Sean, you take it away.
So the answer would basically be, C. So one of the things you do when you make a variation is that you make a parent, and the parent's basically an empty copy. And so once the parent is up, then you would have the parent and the two children. So in this case, the chocolate and the vanilla. This will allow you to keep your current listing. Your new listing that you were making will get the all of the rankings and feedback from the first one. So that way you get a kind of a nice cross-pollination there. So, your new listing just doesn't get kind of lost in the side charts.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then looking into it a little bit more, we usually recommend doing it with a flat file. Some people are a little bit scared of flat files. They can be a little bit difficult. Amazon does now allow you to do it through a web interface. I personally have not done that yet. Like I said, we do the flat files. The flat files you're able to check them and upload them, but there is kind of a little bit of a learning curve there. So, so basically just, make a parent. Again, the parent will be empty. You can leave the name off of it. So you can just have the name without a flavor on it. When a person sees it in the main search, it won't say the flavor. You click it and it will pick usually the first one. So it'd be the chocolate in this case. And then on the side, you'll see the two options. In your case, there's two as far as what to show.
All right. Yeah, it can be complicated doing these parent-child relationships, but it is something that if you do it correctly, probably one of the biggest benefits to setting it up as a variation is, and I don't remember if you mentioned this, but you can easily you can basically help cross promote the different products. You can if someone leaves a review for only one of the products, it basically adds to the review count and star average for all the products in that variation. So instead of having 5 different products with 2 reviews each, you can combine them all together and it'll look like you have 10 reviews for that entire product line. So that can certainly help with the perception. Doesn't necessarily maybe help with the individual ranking or search result of that particular listing necessarily, but it certainly will help with the customer decision of whether or not to even click on that listing because of the number of reviews, and also help conversions, I think, as well. So that would probably be one of the biggest reasons you want to set up the variations instead of just modifying the listing. So, all right, great. Did anyone else want to add anything before we wrap up for today?
No, I'm good.
All right,
Nope,
great.
that's it. It's a nice
All right.
roundtable.
Yeah, I think it went over pretty well. We didn't have Paul here today. Don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Once again, I hope he gets better soon, but definitely is going to be one of these things where we hope to bring more of this. And please come with your questions, as I said before. Once again, you can also visit us at awesomedynamic.com here. We have, once again, a place for you to find all of our past webinars up in the upper right-hand corner. You can register for a new webinar right from this page, as well as take a look at some of our previous webinars. You can also go to our blog page to, again, look at all of our different content that we have here. A lot of great content, not just about Amazon, even though that is certainly our focus more recently. But for sure, check it out. We also have the awesome list. If you go to our homepage, you can actually scroll down to the middle here and sign up for the awesome list from there as well. And you can see pictures of our awesome staff here. Again, if you liked what you heard, please go to the bottom, click on the review us button, and click on that thumbs up if you liked it, and leave us a rating. We'd really appreciate it. And I think with that, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. So I really want to thank Sean, and I really want to thank Blake again for helping out on this webinar today. And say bye, everyone, and have a good day.
Have a good day, everybody.